What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about the crypto markets today, August 25th, and you, primarily you, the savvy crypto investor, maybe not so savvy, whether you're seasoned or you're green, it's your third bull cycle, it's your first month in the cycle. We're going to talk about some very important things that I think anybody and everybody needs to hear, okay? And let's just jump right into it, all right? So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's go. Bitcoin right now seems to be in free fall. It's really not that dramatic, though. I mean, if we're looking at the charts here, you know, we're basically doing, and here we are at 109.6K. The low is at 109.4K, just below there. And we probably have a little bit lower to go, my friends. We do keep longing all the way down. I mean, if we look at this over the past 24 hours, fresh longs, about $1 billion in longs have been piled on since we dropped, and that's down at 106.7K. Could we go down there? Maybe. We don't have to clear all that out, but you know, if we're looking at the 30-day time frame, really what's piled on over the past 30 days, we're almost through this main wall here at about 108.3K. We could go a little bit through that, and that's fine. But look at how many shorts. You guys, there's about $20 billion of shorts piled on in the past 30 days. We are going to squeeze like never squeezed before. Rarely, in fact, I've never seen a situation where there's so many shorts and that's the market top. Okay, we are absolutely going to rip through this and go to the upside. But again, looking at this here, we've slipped a little bit. We are at lower prices. Comparing it to this, without the fact that, you know, you have a lower high here and you have a higher high here, other than that, it almost looks similar, right? You've got this little divot right in the middle, and then you see a lower low. You've got this little pivot in the middle, and then you've got the lower low. You know, it kind of looks like similar price action. It was right here at this instance on a daily time frame. We came back up, right? That was on a Sunday. Today's a Monday, whatever. Sunday, Monday dump. We do have a gap because the weekend was bearish. We do have a gap at about $116,000, $117,000 up there to fill. And not all gaps fill on the CME gaps. Let's actually look at that real quick. Hold on, BTC futures. Okay. Looking at this here, Bitcoin futures. And it's actually more visible, I think, on the 4-hour time frame. I have really slow internet out here, you guys. Right, it's just the way that it is. Let me see if I can do something about that real quick. If I up the performance on my computer, it does. But then the computer makes noise, and I hate whenever it makes noise because I can hear that playing back in my videos. But yeah, it's not. Okay, there we go. It helps a little bit. You see this up here? How Friday last week closed right there at about 116.8K. Right, we opened down here. There's a gap right there, and it might not look obvious. It might not look obvious on this chart if you're looking at it here. But if we're on the 1-hour time frame, you can see the gap. Right, it's a little bit more obvious. Is that what you're looking for when you see a gap? You know what I mean? There's a gap to the upside. Not all gaps fill, but all gaps to the upside, all down gaps, they do fill, right? So because Bitcoin inevitably will continue to grow in price. Okay, we're talking about this because I want you to be aware, fully aware of the fact that we are not in a bearish environment right now. Yes, things are dropping, and no, it's not ideal. Nobody likes to see their coins dumping, but it's healthy. It shakes out the markets. It gets the right people a chance to buy in, the strong hands. It gives the wrong people a chance to sell out and panic into the strong hands. Unfortunately, the institutions are probably going to be stepping in and taking a lot of people's money in this cycle because people are going to be making the wrong decisions while they're making the right decisions. There's a thought that I had in a video that I made just recently today where I was saying that moments like this, especially whenever it comes to handling your finances, you feel like let me rephrase this. Throughout most of your life, right, and almost in all aspects of your life, whenever it comes to handling your finances and you want to succeed financially, you have to do something about it. There's something you have to do. You have to take action. You can't just sit on your ass and do nothing and make money, right? That's not how it works. You're not going to be successful that way, right? That's how life is. But when it comes to this game in crypto, and that's where it's a real challenge of your instincts to just not do anything, right? Because when it comes to this game in crypto, when it comes to this game in stocks, and you see a shakeout like this happen, and you're fully allocated in the markets like I am, like maybe some of you are, or you're waiting for an opportunity to buy the dip and you haven't bought the dip yet, maybe you should buy the dip. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. It feels like you need to take action. If you're in the red, or you're at a lower valuation now than you were last week, you feel like you have to do something about it. So you make the wrong decision and you sell, right? But the best action to take in moments like this is no action at all, right? That's where, and again, I'm just trying to address that fallacy of the mind, that instinct that we all have to do something about it, right? Because this is your livelihood, this is your life savings, this is probably money that you care about that's involved in the crypto markets right now. And odds are today, over the past couple of days, it's a little bit more red. Hell, even over the past month, it's probably a little bit more red than it was maybe a month ago or a couple weeks ago, right? And that can cause some emotions, right? And I like to say, I like to paint out this scenario where that you have two types of investors, right? You have one investor who does not invest with emotion. They invest based on strategy and logic, right? And they exact their plan, right? They what's the word I'm looking for? They execute their plan properly. Strategy and logic. They feel emotions. They just don't invest based on emotions. And then you've got the other guy who invests, or girl, who invests based on emotion entirely. Who's going to get wrecked? Who's going to stay in the game, and who's going to make money? You know what I mean? Who's going to persevere through the dips? Moments like this are meant to test you. And at this moment, I'd actually like to read something that I wrote on X.com about 16 hours ago now. I'm just going to read it right now and just exactly off of it verbatim. Being that I've been in crypto now for about 10 years, I can genuinely say that anyone who's been in this bull market has seen one of the most odd / challenging cycles that I've ever been a part of. My first cycle was absolutely epic. Everything pumped. Almost every damn thing for every day for months at a time, right? The second cycle had COVID and things were stagnant for a while. We had like a 19th month lull for Bitcoin in that cycle, or maybe it was 17 months, I can't remember. But there were serious gains to be made if you stuck with meme coins, dog coins. DeFi summer was the thing. NFTs were huge, right? There were all kinds of opportunities last cycle that even in the stagnation of Bitcoin, Ethereum was still doing really well, and a lot of cryptos were as well. Solana was doing well as well. This is my third cycle. It's like the opportunities rise and fall all in the same week. One week you're holding something that's the next big up and comer, and then the next week it's irrelevant, right? Or you're less convicted because the momentum dies, and something that you're holding that could have serious potential as time goes on, nothing happens. The markets and the momentum / belief in the project dies down, and you're left wondering if you made the right choice in your investment. I genuinely believe that anyone who's braved the storm of this 2023 to 2026 bull market, I do think we're going into 2026, will be hardened veterans in the space and will have earned their stripes hands down more than any first timers from any other past cycle, right? Past cycles are easy compared to this one. This one has not been easy, absolutely, right? The easy times are coming, the good times are coming, but you have to be patient. The market is taxing. Conviction, discipline, belief, even faith is needed to keep you level-headed in this space. Patience is a virtue. And at this point, if you're still in the markets, I doubt that any of you are lacking patience. Okay, you're probably not lacking in that department of virtue. You all deserve the wealth and abundance that is coming. Just hold out a little bit longer, all right? We're at this final trying moment, my friends. Bitcoin is going to test you, and it is testing you. And if you're reading the media, there's another thing that I heard today from one of my favorite YouTubers, Ivan on Tech. He's a very big YouTuber in the space. I think he's been in crypto since 2013, and he said, and then this is something, I think this is a good point that he made, and I'm going to paraphrase him here, but he was saying, in moments like this, especially when the market drops, people go and look for the reason why. Why is Bitcoin dumping? And then they'll find some story. Oh, this whale that was holding for 10 years sold, or oh, there's a flaw in the system, or oh, there's some kind of law that came out and they're going to ban Bitcoin, or there's a new quantum computer that's coming. You know, all this kind of negative stuff that might imply negative price action for Bitcoin, or it might be the death or the end of Bitcoin, which won't happen. And not just Bitcoin, but crypto itself, right? You look for the reason, you'll find it. It's out there. The media, it's out there. The reason why we dropped. But the real reason we drop is not what the media is telling you, right? That's to engage you. That's even to make you fearful and potentially gear your brain to make you make the wrong decision, allow you to be emotional and do the wrong thing, which is sell the low. Remember this. We've pointed this out so many times. In fact, we're going to go over this right now. Hold on. Okay. If we're looking at this here on a daily time frame. Okay. Remember, I was saying it for like a week up here. We're on the 3-day time frame. Okay, whatever. For like a week up here, the news was super bullish. Super bullish. It was absolutely bullish. Bitcoin, all kinds of good things. Jim Cramer was bullish on Bitcoin, right? CNBC day after day was posting bullish articles on Bitcoin and crypto. And then when did they get bearish? When did the negative news come out? Bullish news was here. Bearish news was here. Bullish news was here. We're on the 3-day time frame, so that's like a 6-day period there. Bearish news is going to come out at the bottom. The news is not there to help you. it'll justify the reason why price action is doing its thing, but the real reason why is because of human psychology, right? People make bad decisions. The reality is you look at these kind of things, you think, oh, this is the high. That's where a lot of people were selling, but that's not true. It's actually where a lot of people were buying. This is the low. That must have been where a lot of people were buying. No, it's actually where a lot of people were selling. The reality is most people buy the highs and most people sell the lows because it's when there are no more buyers that the price has an easier time moving down. It's when there are no more sellers that the price has an easier time to move up. And that's what's happening now. That's what moments like this are geared to do, is to generate the most amount of selling pressure that it possibly can, regardless of what the news is. Go out and look up the news if you want to. You'll find a reason why it's dropping, I'm sure. Don't let it shake you out. It's okay to be aware of what's going on. Don't use that in your analysis or in your game plan, right? Satoshi's wallet got hacked and he sold all his bitcoins. Okay, maybe that would be bad, because if somebody got into Satoshi's wallet, maybe that is bad, because if they can get to his wallet, they can get to any wallet. Something's wrong with the code, right? Or Satoshi never died, in which case that'd be nuts, man. That'd be kind of crazy, but different. That might be bearish, right? There are certain things that do cause black swan events, but most of the time it's just BS. It's just noise. It's fugazi. It's fugazi. It's a woozy. It's a wazi, and it doesn't matter. It's not something that you should apply in your strategy when it comes to investing. I forget where I was going with this, but essentially, at the end of the day, I'm getting distracted because I hear my daughter screaming at my wife, and I want to end this video now because I need to go give her the foot for that seemed wrong. I don't hit my daughter. I don't beat my daughter. I don't believe in that. We don't do that. But I'm the dad, so I'm the one that puts the foot down. That seemed a little bit aggressive there. But anyways, a little slip up of the brain there. I'm just trying to say, guys, that this is a very critical moment. Don't mess it up, okay? There are a lot of shorts piled on. There's more shorts now piled on than there has been over this past month and a half, okay? It's time to lock in. It's time to have conviction. This moment is here to test you, and if you pass this test, the price will grow, the sun will come out, and you will have all the evidence that you need that this bull market is still continuing and that we're anywhere but near the end of this cycle, okay? We've got more to go. If you fail this test, on the bright side, this market is going to be so robust and vibrant that even if you make the wrong decision and sell here, you can still buy back at a higher price and probably make any losses that you've had back and make more money than what you had to lose at the beginning. You just won't have as much money as you would if you just held, right? With that being said, again, I really wouldn't be surprised if we went a little bit lower, okay? It's very possible, very likely even, that we do clear out these longs at about 108K, and hell, we might even go a little bit lower than that. This flash crash, I think, is going to continue. We could go to 106.6K, you guys. It really could happen. And in fact, I want to look at this because I haven't considered for a while that we would go below too much below this low that we did. But I want to take this low to high and just see if what fib targets come up with, what we come up with here real quick. Low to high. The 1272 is at 108.8K. The 1618 golden ratio extension is at 105K. Anything and everything in that area could be where we go. It's very possible, right? We are building volume as we're going down. It's going to be intense. It's going to be short-lived, and we're going to come back up and sing Kumbaya in just a matter of no time at all. I got to go deal with a 3-year-old. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Look at how short that was, intense it was, and then we went back up. Hit the like button. Subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.